Welcome to another episode of Couch Chat. So, I wanted to talk to you guys today about the importance of recognizing that it's okay to not always feel okay. So, I just got back from visiting a friend of mine, a woman friend, and she's been going through it. She's been going through some life stuff, and she called me yesterday and said that she was feeling really down on herself and that she just kind of wanted to talk. And so we did. And then I went over to her place today to just kind of talk to her. And her husband was home too, so I got to hang out with both of them. That was great. But, the fact that she felt so open and able to be able to say, hey, this is what I'm going through. I'm feeling really, really down about myself. And I just know I got to get it out there. It's so great. And it's great that we leave a space for people in our lives to do that for us. But I've noticed that typically it tends to be a lot easier and more acceptable, I'll say, for women to be the ones to do that. Because, as men, we've been taught that we have to be stoic and not have anything bother us or look like it's bothering us. Heck, I've said on this show several times that you as a man need to learn how to be indifferent to things and to basically have a tougher emotional muscle. This doesn't mean that you can't ever go through stuff. And I still wholeheartedly believe that the more you're able to have a straight head on your shoulders and not let things bother you so much, that it does become easier, at least in my experience. But that said, that doesn't ever mean that you won't face things that maybe life is bearing down on you, or you're having moment after moment of things not going your way, or you're not getting the relationships that you want, and it's causing you to feel like really just like you're not feeling like yourself, you're not centered, you're feeling depressed about it, you're feeling anxious, all these other things, right? And as men, it's very easy for us to get down on ourselves like, well, I shouldn't let anything bother me whatsoever, and I can't solve this problem. I must be stupid or whatever. And it can cause you to be really, really down. And so I just want to say that in your life, you're going to have some great highs. And when you're in those high moments, it feels fantastic. Everything's going your way. But life is going to also hand you some down moments. This isn't even talking about you being depressed. This is just talking about like you could have everything in life going great. Somebody's going to die. Your job's going to go away. You're going to not have as much money as you think that you wanted. And in those moments, it's going to be really important to remember that for the most part, those kind of things are temporary. But while you're going through them, it's okay to express to somebody else that you're going through stuff. I've mentioned on here a couple of times now that my cousin, God rest his soul, he passed away last month. He got in a really, really big accident and he was just gone like that. 41 years old, gone. And so, at the time I was like, I didn't know how much that was going to really affect me. But what I started to notice is there's a job that I do here in LA outside of doing this stuff. And I started turning stuff in late, or I'd be sitting there thinking about wanting to do it all day, but wasn't really getting to it. And so the person that I work with on this stuff was kind of getting on me like, hey, you're not turning your stuff on time. You're not turning it at the normal quality that you do it at. Like, what the freak, what's going on? And I had to finally open up and say, hey, you know what? I dropped the ball. My bad. I don't have an excuse for that, but this is what I've been going through. I had this thing happen to my family, and I had to go to a funeral, and maybe that's just been affecting my thing. And the response I got back from the other person was like, oh, hey, you know what? I totally understand. Like, just get it done when you can, but like, I'm sorry you went through that, whatever. And I think about like, what if I hadn't voiced that? Like, what if I hadn't been open to saying, hey, I'm really feeling some kind of way right now, and I'm going through some serious stuff. Now, the reason I'm able to do that, though, is because I grew up in a family where we could express ourselves. We were able to learn the language of being able to tell people when things are going on with us in a way that's not trying to say like, well, I'm going through something and you should, but just be able to really express that we're going through some hard stuff and this is what could be affecting things. And I need you to know that, because people that care about you, if you're acting weird or strange in any way, form, or fashion, they assume there's got to be a reason behind it. But if you're not giving them any kind of reason or telling them that you're going through things, then they're going to just think that you're turning to some kind of a-hole and eventually not want to be around you, And this is also true for your interpersonal relationships with women. Like, I think sometimes as men, again, we understand that women are looking for us to lead and for us to have the answer to a lot of stuff. And there can be a fear in expressing that weakness or saying, hey, I'm going through a tough time right now. This is what's going on, whatever. Now, obviously, I don't recommend you do that early on in the relationship. But if you're with somebody for a decent amount of time, those things are going to happen in your life. And that other person, if they care about you, wants to be let in on those things that are going on with you. If nothing else, so they'll have an understanding of where you're coming from, or why you're in a certain mood a certain day, or why you're making certain decisions. Like, you can't leave the partner that you're with blind in the dark about that. But I understand it's hard in our society to be able to voice those things and express those concerns. But I ultimately want to say that it is perfectly okay to not be okay. If you're going through something seriously, get a therapist, call a unalive yourself hotline. Like, make sure that you're able to recognize when you yourself are going through a depressive episode, and then try to figure out what things you can put in place so when those things happen, you can go to those support systems. I know if I'm going through anything, I have a best friend I can talk to. I have family members I can talk to. I know numbers I can call if I'm feeling that down and out. I haven't gotten to the point where I want to unalive myself, but I definitely have times where it's like, I just need to vent to somebody about something. I need to get a second opinion on something. I need to figure out what's going on because I don't feel right now. And if you don't feel right now, then I say it's okay to feel not okay, but definitely make sure you're on a pathway towards figuring out why you don't feel okay and working to remedy that. Because ultimately, whether it's your interpersonal relationships or just a relationship with yourself, you want to make sure that you're at the healthiest place possible. And when you're not, that's fine, but make sure that you're going to have stuff to get better, because we don't want you to do the ultimate thing that leaves you not here anymore. So I just felt the need to voice that because I just got back from talking to my friend, and I feel as though me being able to talk to her for a couple hours, and she's been calling out other people as well to kind of get different perspectives on things and to kind of, calm herself down. And I wish men would have more support systems in place, and also be more willing to actually go out and seek those support systems. And I know a lot of times as guys, especially as introverts, it can be hard for us to get out there and want to trust other people with stuff that's going on. But as fun as it can be to be an introvert, when those lonely times come or those hard times come, you need other people in your life. That's all I'm saying. So hopefully this helps you guys out. I'll be back with more videos later this week. So in the meantime, also, I do a live show now every Tuesday at 3:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So be sure to tune in for that. You can ask me all the questions you want, and I will answer them on that show. That's all I got. I'm Harry Wilmington, and I'll catch you on the next one. I'm out. Peace.